my obsession with left-handed fighters has been known for ages, and I pretty much love to watch them, and I'm especially thrilled when the left-handed fighter wins the UFC Championship and when he holds the belt around his belt. These are top 7 Southpaw UFC Champions. Number 7. Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler has always been known by his extreme level of brutality and even better striking, finishing his foes and opponents. Robbie Lawler won the UFC belt against Johnny Hendricks at UFC 181, then successfully defended it against Rory McDonald at UFC 189, and finally defeated Carlos Condit via split decision at UFC 195, but he lost the belt at UFC 201 to Tyron Woodley. Number 6. Lyoto Machida. Lyoto Machida is the most famous karateka in the history of UFC and the guy with most lethal left hands and left kicks from karate. He won the belt with a victory over Rashad Sugar Evans at UFC 98, then defended the belt against Mauricio Shogun at UFC 104, and then in another fight he lost it, then he lost against Jon Jones. He competed in a title fight against Chris Weidman one more time, but he was defeated. Number 5. Well, this is Rich Ace Franklin. He is a bit older name in the history of this lovely sport. And Rich Franklin is also a great southpaw fighter known for his fabulous left straight. He won the belt in the fight against Steven Tanner. It was one of the bloodiest fights ever. Then he turned the lights out on legendary Nate Quarry in one of the most lethal strikes. Then he was again very dominant against his next rival, just to lose the belt to Anderson Silva. He fought with Anderson Silva 2 times for the belt, but he was unable to win it. Number 4. Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina Shevchenko is the best Kyrgyzstani athlete and definitively the best female that has ever competed in the history of this sport, if you ask me. When it comes to strikers, of course. Well, strikes are so lethal, she is so quick, and her Muay Thai kickboxing background and Taekwondo background is just stunning. You must enjoy watching this lovely girl turning the lights out, countering her foes, and literally annihilating everybody along the way. Valentina Shevchenko fought for the title for the first time against Amanda Nunes when she lost via split decision. Then she won the belt against Joanna Jędrzejczyk in one very great fight. Then turned the lights out on Jessica Eye to defend the title. After that she outlasted Liz Carmouche. And in the last fight of her career she defeated Katlyn Chookagian. Oh, you see this lovely left spinning heel kick. Number 3. Vitor Belfort. Vitor Belfort is the real veteran of this sport and the guy who competed in the UFC for a very long period of time. The guy defeated at UFC 12 two opponents, Strat Eligman, and then he was better than Scott Ferozzo to win the title. And also he fought Randy Couture 3 times. In one of their matches he was able to defeat him to win the belt, but unfortunately he lost to Jon Jones. He also lost to Anderson Silva in a title fight, and he also lost to Chris Weidman in the UFC middleweight title fight. So, great success from Belfort. Number 2. Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva is the man who ruled for a very long period of time. He was the real division champion, who won the belt for the first time at UFC 64 when he squared off against Rich Franklin. His bout against Travis Luther was not even a title fight. Then he defended it against Nate Marquardt very successfully. Fought Rich Franklin another time, then choked out Dan Henderson. Later he was better than James Irvin. His next successfully defeated opponent was Patrick Cote, and then he was better than Tales Laites. Then he turned the lights out on Forrest Griffin. After that Damian Maia was not good enough to defeat him. Then he choked out Charles Sonnen. They fought 2 times and Silva was better both times. Turning the lights out on Vitor Belfort is still one of the best knockouts ever in the history of this sport. He was also better than Yushin Okami, but Chris Weidman stopped his very long title reign. Number 1. Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is the richest guy in the history of this sport, but also the guy with the greatest mouth that have ever appeared, and the most popular man ever. In his UFC debut he was better than Marcus Brimage. Then he was better than Max Holloway, And also against his next rival, Conor showed very great knockout ability. Then Conor McGregor, well, defeated Dustin Poirier in 90 seconds and trolled him about going 90 seconds. Then he was better than Dennis Siver. And Conor successfully turned the lights out on one of the greatest wrestlers, Chad Mendes.
That's it, let's go! I own Rio de Janeiro, so I'll whoop his ass in July. Look into my eyes, little man. Otario, Otario! Pussy.
Oh man, in the fight against Jose Aldo, Conor trolled him all the time in his home country of Brazil and defeated him in 14 seconds. Then he fought Nate Diaz 2 times. Once he won, once he lost. And then Conor McGregor turned the lights out on the underground king Eddie Alvarez, but Khabib Nurmagomedov was better than him because Conor hasn't competed for a very long period of time, and because of that he was striped out of that title. Right now Conor competes at UFC welterweight division. Now it's time for some honorable mention. Holly Holm. Holly Holm is one of the best female fighters in the history of this sport, and this amazing woman won the title via defeating Ronda Rousey via head kick, lost it to Miesha Tate, and she fought 3 more times for the title, but she was unsuccessful. And also here is Anthony Showtime Pettis, the guy with the most entertaining kicks in the history of this sport, who defeated Benson Henderson at Strikeforce and also defeated him in a title fight in the UFC. Then he choked out Gilbert Melendez in a title fight, but later he was defeated to Rafael dos Anjos. He also competed with Max Holloway for UFC featherweight title, but he was unable to win it. My avid fans, thanks for watching, I hope you all enjoyed.